Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Great Puckettini. What I got for you today is I'm going to tell you Arkansas can win big in the future. And y'all know I'm big on Bobby Petrino. I think we should have already named him as the head coach. And I'm going to show you why and how we should follow the Texas Tech model the way they have. I watched them play today and they just totally just beat the dog out of BYU. They totally just dominated them. I think beat them 29-7, maybe 29-3, and they just drubbed them. And has that happened? I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But anyway, this is a deep dive into how Arkansas can follow the Texas Tech model to have a great future in this NIL environment. If we can do what they did, I think they created the right blueprint. We need to follow. We see it right there. So why can't we kind of do what they've done? Why can't we be smart like them? Okay, so here's what I mean. Let's watch this. Check this out. Now, first off, what's the connection between us and Texas Tech? First of all, remember back in the 2024 Liberty Bowl, wasn't that just last season? We beat them 39-26, okay? And then, it was an emotional game for Joey McGuire. He's a heck of a coach, but he's not one of these big-name coaches like we think we have to go get. Texas Tech was okay with him. Now, he grew up an Arkansas Razorback fan. He was born in Texarkana, Texas, right down the road from me here, and that's right on the Arkansas-Texas line if you don't know. So he was a huge Razorback fan. And from there, now this season, Texas Tech, as of right now, they'll move up. They're ranked number 9 in the country, and we know where we are. I think we had a team that could have been ranked up there, and I think we totally messed up by firing Coach Pittman there. Right after we did play horrible against Notre Dame. Okay, so we're done from that. All right, now we're away. I'm over that. Now, but we got the man that we need right now in Bobby Petrino. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's follow the Texas Tech model, what they did. They didn't go out and spend big money on a coach. I'll show you what they did, so pay attention here. Thanks so much for watching, by the way. All right, let's look at an overview here. So, Texas Tech has risen rapidly thanks to the transfer portal, NIL spending, and a favorable schedule. Okay, now, for Arkansas, we can control two of those three things. We can control what we do in the transfer portal. We can control what we do in NIL spending if we're getting the money supposedly we're getting to hire this new coach. But the favorable schedule, we don't have the favorable schedule. We don't have that. We're like, right now, I think we're number 3rd in the country. But if you watched my video last night with Ryan Silverfield, Bobby Petrino, you see that Petrino, when he was winning 10, 11 games at Arkansas, we were playing top 10 schedule back then. So he's proven he can win against tough schedules, guys. It's proven. Why don't we understand that? He's a proven winner. I don't care if he's 64 years old or not. He has enough fire to go out and get a 15-yard penalty against Mississippi State when we're actually getting ripped off. Okay, and plus, a head coach is only going to be around for 5 years or so. If they get more than that, man, you got your money's worth. But anyway, so we can only control two of those three things. We can't control the schedule. But anyway, so let's move on here. All right, number 3, recruiting and roster upgrades. Here how they upgraded their roster, and Arkansas does a lot of these things already. Now, they had 21 transfers added in 2025. I think we were around there maybe. I don't know. I probably should have looked that up. Now, so they have a great mix of high school recruits and transfers, and I think Arkansas has done. Think back, we were pretty good. We brought in that Drew Sanders kid, and we'd bring in just a few here and there. We had good recruits, and we're bringing them in. That's what you got to do. You can't do like Memphis has done and bring in 70 or 75. Memphis just plays absolutely nobody. That's how they can get away with that, guys. You can't build a team like that. Look at Colorado. Look at Memphis. Two of the big examples. Now, Memphis has a good season. But remember, we had them beat. We're trying to run the clock out, and we fumbled the ball. We should have beat them, okay? And we got screwed right before halftime with that pass interference call. Would have beat them worse than that. I mean, good grief. Man, it's horrible. Horrible officiating. Now, and then they've signed a big guy, Felix Ojo. He's a big offensive lineman. I think he's a big left tackle maybe. He's the number 1 offensive tackle in the country. He's a 5-star. His grade is almost 1,000, .9992. Okay, and they're going to pay him $5 million per year. $5 million. Okay, is that overdoing it? Maybe, but they've got the money. They're not going to go out and buy a coach. Say, hey, we got $5 million. Let's go buy another coach. It's not the coaches, it's the players. Okay, the players, guys. Now, because what's Joey McGuire? Has he just all of a sudden gotten super smart? and now they're winning? No, he's been able to go out and buy some players. All right, now, they also have the top 5 transfer class nationally, ranked as high as number 2, I saw. And I'm going to tell you right there, money talks, and you know what walks. I'm just not going to say it. And I did not finish my bullet there. They use their money to go buy players, not to buy a new head coach, AAC guy that's won 8 games or 10, playing the 100th ranked schedule in the country, and he's going to come to Arkansas and play the 3rd ranked schedule and get his butt kicked. And in 5 years, we're going to be looking for another coach because we stink. Or we could spend 5 years with Bobby Petrino being pretty dadgum good. He's shown he can do it. I want to see what he can do with Trevor Jackson. I think Trevor Jackson is going to be a heck of a quarterback. All right, so let's move on there. Now, number 4, NIL spending and financial commitment. Now, Texas Tech football NIL roster budget is right at $29 million. I mean, that is a lot of money. Their total for the whole athletic program is $55 million. Now, let's compare that with us, with Arkansas. Ours is around 12 to 15 million from what I'm able to find. I couldn't find an exact number. So think about that. Just go from 15 to 29. That's $12 million more. Excuse me, that's $14 million more. Imagine how we can make that defense better with $14 more million. I mean, and we're supposed to be getting some money coming in. These donors wanting to give money. Don't go blow it on a coach. Don't go blow it on a coach. You know, how many great defensive players could we sign with that much money? Man, our defense would get good really quick. Don't waste money on a coach. We have a great one in Petrino already who wants the job. And we can get him pretty cheap. Hire him, give him the job, and go let him spend that money on players. Look at his offense. One of the top offenses in the country. You don't think he knows good players when he sees them? His defenses are pretty good too. They were always at least average or better. Always. He gets a bad rap. Oh, his defenses weren't very good. Yeah, they were. A lot better than... They were always ranked in like the 30s. They were always pretty decent. Now, and Texas Tech has the high-profile deal I just told you about Felix Ojo. They're going to pay him $5 million a year. He's still in high school, though. Their boosters are the Matador Club and Cody Campbell. He's the guy that's really giving a bunch of money. I think he was an offensive lineman there, and he's I don't know what he's in business. I think I read it, probably oil or something, oil and gas, but he's giving a bunch of money. And the result is Tech can now compete with SEC and Big Ten programs where they couldn't before. Guys, it's right there. There's the model. You know, if we're getting all this money in, we don't need to hire a new coach. We got our coach there. We got to go pay players. We got to get better players. Now, number 5 is also their strength of schedule. I can't go without saying this. You know, Texas Tech, their preseason strength of schedule was number 72 nationally, and that was the easiest in the Big 12. In early season, that was ranked number 69 nationally, so a little bit harder. You know, so that is something, but probably Petrino has shown, if you watch my video from last night, him versus Ryan Silverfield, that his best years, he's winning 8, 10, 11 games at Arkansas. They have a top 10, they're doing it versus a top 10 schedule. So he can win against these teams. Look what he's done. Texas Tech, Tennessee, Mississippi State should have won all those games. We have chances to win and beat them. We're just close. Imagine what another pass rusher would do us, or another real good corner to go with Julian Neal, or a linebacker that'll step up and play like Texas Tech has found every week. You know, imagine how much better we would be. Don't waste that money on a coach. We've got our coach. Let's hire him right now and let him go find somebody for next year. We're burning daylight. We're wasting time. All right, now, number 6, let's look at the Joey McGuire and his salary and stuff. You know, I put some stuff. He's born in Crowley, Texas. He was born in Texarkana. His family are Razorback fans, and I don't want us to hire him. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just kind of making a comparison. You know, he came from high school, won 3 state titles, was at Baylor for a little bit, Texas Tech. Now, what they paid him, what they're paying him right now, or he was $4.55 million in 2025, but I think he just signed a 6-year deal, I believe, for $26 million. And that's about 6 goes into $4 million? I think that's what it is, about $4.5 million a year, okay, is what they're paying him. Now, let's compare that with what Coach Pittman got and say that we can get Petrino somewhere in that range and use all the rest of that money to go buy players. Here's Sam Pittman. His salary was $6.5 million in 2024. So he's getting about $2 million more. So I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, so his contract was a multi-year deal with win bonuses, of course. And McGuire earns $2 million less per year, but Tech's NIL offsets that gap. That's where they're putting their money is into the NIL. Okay, so I'm saying if you give Petrino that same type of money over 4 to 6 years, spend the rest of that money on players. And I hear people say, "Oh, you got to go out and hire the best defensive coordinator there is." Hey, don't you think he knows who'd be a good defensive coordinator? These guys that he picked up off the street, basically, they've been in the NFL and stuff. They're doing pretty daggum good. Their defense has gotten better in the last 3 weeks. They've played pretty good. I mean, Texas A&M right now is one of the best teams in the country, and God, we should have beat them. We had them beat. We could have beat them. I mean, we've shown what we can do. It is unbelievable to me that we haven't hired Coach Petrino yet. I just don't understand. We get in the way of ourselves at Arkansas. But Texas Tech has shown us a model to win. Let's follow that model. We can do it just the way they did. Okay, now, number 8 is let's look at their top productive players here. Their team and how they've got them. Like I'm trying to show you that you can't just go sign portal players, a bunch of them every year. You got to recruit and then build them. Like we've done with Trevor Jackson and some of these guys are looking at hopefully being better. Their quarterback, they recruit him out of high school. The running back out of high school. Now they do have 2 receivers here that they transfers. So you plug in holes where you need them. But you can't just go build whole new teams every year. It just don't work. And then a homegrown receiver here, Eakin, and then you have a transfer. Their center's a transfer. We went out and got a center. Kittler, who's playing good. We had a hole. When you got holes, you fill them in the transfer portal. But you don't need to bring in 70 or 75 every year like Memphis is doing. They can do that because they're not playing the talent that you can play in the SEC. And the first chance a lot of times when you get beat and things get down, these portal guys, they'll just drop it. Say, hey, I'm going somewhere else next year. They don't have anything invested in the program. So you want a bunch of guys that have worked their butts off in the fall, in the spring and winter workouts, and they have something invested in this program. They want to win. These other guys may just be there for money, just they're portal guys. There's a reason they're portal guys, Just keep that in mind. Number 9 on defense. Let's look here. Right here, these are the best defensive players. You have 3 transfers and 2 guys that they recruited out of high school. So I mean, hey, you got to have a mix. These transfer guys are older guys, so they help you. You're bigger, stronger, faster. A lot of times they're older, more experienced, but you just can't rebuild your team every year. You have to have a good mixture, and Texas Tech's doing that. Arkansas was doing that too, was doing a good job with that. We just playing the really, really tough schedule and just had the ball bounce really bad for us. We had some really, really bad officiating too. Has really, really hurt us. I'd guarantee you, say the Memphis game was officiating and Mississippi State was officiating. Those 2 games there for sure was horrible, horrible officiating. Horrible. All right, now here's the summary, man. I've got off on other tangents, but I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about Bobby Petrino. I saw him. I coached. I was a head high school coach at that time, and I went to several of his talks. Man, this guy, he knows what he's doing. I'm telling you. And remember, too, Bobby Petrino went to the Atlanta Falcons. He was the one guy Atlanta picked and said, we want you to work with Michael Vick to be his coach, make him be the best he can be. But guess what? Vic gets in trouble with the dog fighting charges and never got to play in the NFL again, I don't think. He did come back, but it was done. So Petrino, they were horrible when you take Vic off that team, and he got through it, then he jumped back in the NFL. And luckily he came to Arkansas. Now, what if he had gone to Alabama like Nick Saban? Nick Saban did the same thing. Petrino's won as much or more than he has, and Saban was at LSU of all places. Lord have mercy, you ought to win huge there. And he did. He won big. But if Petrino had gone to Alabama, he would have won as much or more than Nick Saban did if he'd have stayed out of trouble. Petrino's a little bit rough around the edges. But anyway, I'm telling you, he would have. I hold him in that regard. than Nick Saban. Nick Saban's lucky he went to Alabama. What if Petrino had jumped in, landed in Alabama? Holy moly. All right, now, so here's a summary. All right, Texas Tech success, the blueprint we see is NIL, recruiting. You have to have a good schedule too, and leadership, okay? Now, we can control 3 of those 4 things. They did not go out and pay big money for a new coach. They didn't do that. They kept McGuire and spent their money. They did hire an offensive coordinator thing. They hired some defensive coaches, but Petrino, that's the very first thing he did when he took over. He hired 3 new defensive coaches, and he'll make more changes. He'll bring in some more of his people, okay? He's been there he's been a head coach many, many years. He knows what to do. He knows what to do. So we can control 3 of those 4 variables. Can't do anything about the schedule, you know. I mean, we can for years way on down the road. Now, pay Petrino about what Pittman and McGuire got, right around there, about $4 to $6 million a year. If you want to pay him a little more, that's fine. I think he's worth it, whatever. I think he's one of the top coaches in the country, and I don't see why some of these other bozos aren't trying to sign him right now. It's crazy. He's hard to work with. I've heard that a lot. He's pretty abrupt and everything. But Jimmy Johnson was the same way. That's why Frank Broyles didn't want to hire Jimmy Johnson. He said, well, you know, Jimmy, he's hard to work with, you know. And so we hired Lou Holtz, and Jimmy goes on to win big. But anyway, so pay Petrino about what Pittman and McGuire got. Use the rest of that money for players. Look at Petrino's offense. They're like number 5 in the country. They were. You know, it's tough holding this team together, guys. You don't understand how hard it is. Just tough holding them together. And just for what he's done with them, he should be given the job already. But look at his offense that he had. Everything was good. They were one of the top offenses in the country. He knows good players. And I've heard that Frank Fletcher gave him the money. You know, give him more money and let him go fix the defense too. He can fix it, I tell you, if you give him the money. Look at his offense. He knows how to spin it. He knows how to get good players. He's the man for the job, guys. You do that, and we will win. I guarantee you, do that, we will win. Hire Coach Petrino. Take all this money we're getting in. Hopefully tell those boosters, say, guys, we got Petrino. He's our man. We got to have him. He's our man. Let's go buy players. Players is what we need, not coaching. We don't need coaches. We can find coaches. But you don't have many players. Players are the ones that get out there and play and do it. Every play is made up to get a touchdown. Every play is. Every play is meant to get the quarterback, sack them, intercept a pass. Every play you draw up is meant to do that. What makes it successful? Players. You got to have better players. And that's what we need. Bobby Petrino's the man. We got to hire him and then take that money. Go buy players, get better players, and then you will win. You will win. Follow that model of Texas Tech. And that's all I got, guys. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here. And this was, I just got through watching Indiana, boy, barely beat Penn State today. Holy moly, that was crazy. Now, that official that ruled out a catch at the end of the game, that was a heck of a call. I've been on the officials pretty bad, but that guy there now, that was a heck of a call. He was spot on. He saw it and did good. Man, he did. That was a really good call. But anyway, man, Indiana barely. And that's, you know, and that's with Indiana. They're lucky. Cignetti's not asking for the world. He gave him a contract extension, and he's going to use that money to get players. He knows he don't need all that money, guys. He's smart. Why is he winning? He's smart. He could have asked for $100 million or how much ever, but he don't want that. He knows he's got to use money to get players. Players are what win the game, guys. Players. Did you see his receiver? He looked like he about hit his head on the goalpost when he caught that pass. I mean, you got to have money to pay those guys, okay? And that's what we got to do. Hire Coach Petrino, and then let's go buy some more players. All right, guys, like I say, thanks so much for watching. If you would, enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up button, and then subscribe to my channel here. You see I've made 335 videos. I do basketball. I do football. But I love breaking down recruits. I'm a former coach myself for over 15 years, so I like to think I know what I'm talking about. And please hit that bell, you know, that gives you a notification when I post new videos, because I try to post one a day. And I'm going to post another one tonight after Arkansas's basketball game. We're going to play Michigan State, man. I'm super excited about that game. I've been waiting. I'm planning my whole day for that, just so I can watch that game. I'm super excited. And I hope that we'll come to our senses and hire Coach Petrino, and then football get going in the right direction, too. I'm telling you, he's the man for the job. He's already done it. He can do it again. And anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for spending time with me. And as always, hey, have a great day. And as always, go Hogs.